Good afternoon and welcome back to Carnation Crafts. I hope you're all safe and well and all tucked up nice and warm with it being horrible outside. Well, we've got a little bit something special for you. If you didn't see the show this morning, this hour is all about Posted with Petals. It's a beautiful Crafters Select collection that's been hand chosen for you that has got beautiful florals in it. It's got that little envelope detail in there as well, but it's such a lovely collection. Now, the only thing I have to tell you is we left obviously the show earlier and we were at 50% of the stock had gone. We are now approaching 60% of the stock has gone. It's a phenomenal collection, and when we bring the Crafters Selects to you, you know you're getting real value for money. And if I just turn this around, you'll see you get a lot of metal for your money with this one. As always, you've got those extra pieces that, think of this like an embellishment selection that you can slot in with all your other ranges at $22.99. This is a steal of a deal that we've got for you today. And with this one, obviously, you know this is going to go back up to $29.99 anytime soon, so you need to be quick on this one. But like I say, 60% of the stock has already gone on this one, so let's get straight into it and show you the boards. So if you did miss it this morning, this is what you're going to get. You are going to get the fantastic array of different flowers in this one. You've got the tulips, you've got like the daisies, and you've also got the bluebells in there. The vignettes, the pre-coloured images, these are available to download for free once you have purchased your kit, so they will be there waiting for you. You're going to get the envelope, you're going to get the small lip of that, so if you wanted to decorate it separate you can. You also get like the box foldable envelope as well. So again, with this you've got that little bit of detail to be able to add that dimension to the front of it, or just pop that as well. But if you are doing your vignettes as well, I would highly recommend that you use your Pro Print paper. This is now back in stock. You want 20 GSM to be able to do your double side ones. Now this is $14.99 for 100 sheets, and I'll be honest with you, even before because obviously I help Carnation out, I'm not a member of the team, shall we say, staff. I come in, but I have always used the Pro Print paper. Even before I worked for them, this was something I use and I still use to this day. Because if you're sat at home and you're printing them out and they don't look exactly the same colours, that is because you're not using the right quality paper. It's about what you print it on, not the quality you print it. Because if you want, like these are all done by the design team, you can see the colours are like for like. There isn't one that you look at it and think, well, where's that from? It's not the same colour. If you use the Pro Print paper, we can guarantee that when you print them out, they are going to be like for like. So $14.99 for that one. I would highly recommend that as always. With this as well, obviously you're getting the foliage and everything else, and then like the wrapper, if you want to use it to put the flowers in as well, you will get all that too. Now, just to remind you a few extra bits that are on the show as well, because obviously we always get asked about this now. This is the latest one to the family. This is the hammered cardstock. You get 20 sheets of this. It's 280 GSM, but it's got like a texture to it as well. And I know a lot of you have actually used this for a lot of your Christmas cards. You've said to us it's spanned across all the different styles of cards. So if you're wanting a really good card, blank base, this is brilliant. Now for 20 sheets, you're just paying $9.99 for this today. Add this in as well. But we also do a 50 sheet bundle. It's $14.99. So it depends if you want 20 sheets at $9.99 or you are wanting 40 sheets and then 50 sheets, sorry, and that is $14.99. But everything is there for you. And also on the show is a little bit different. We've got, this is brand new. This is their lightweight vellum sheets. You get 50 of this and it's 65 GSM. And I have to say, it's a beautiful weight. If you are making lanterns or anything like that from any of the elements from Carnation Crafts, or even, you know, like with the card that I made earlier, if you pop that behind, just cut a piece with the dies, put it behind, give your cards a different fluidity, a different style. Or if you put in the battery operated little lights behind it or things like that, this is a great one to have. But this is 65 GSM, so it's a nice lightweight one. And this one, again, for 50 sheets, you're paying just $14.99. Do remember, if you want to use this, if you've got any embossing folders or anything like that, do make sure you put a piece of copier paper in, just thin copier paper in, and because it is only 65 GSM, it will stop it damaging it, but you'll get the emboss. Okay, so just use that as a cushioner. Great product to have. I do really like vellums, I must admit. And if you're using your alcohol pens, you can actually draw onto that as well with your alcohol pens, so you can use them on there. So let's show you a few little examples of what you can do with these beautiful items. Now with this, again, if you are just wanting something simple, something clean, something absolutely stunning, this is going to work. You can see there, just added in a couple of the flowers to add that detail in there. But then if you want to add in the full shebang, as we call it. So this is the piece that I was showing you earlier that you can use as the wrapper for the flowers. I think the envelope as well would be great as a little tag. You could punch a hole in it. It could be a tag and things like that on your cards. But just tucked in as a tuck-in, these are marvellous to use with that. If you want to use the flowers as a design on the card, these are going to look really good as well, because again, you've got that fullness of the different styles of the flowers. But then if you just want to stick with the colour tones and you just want to stick like with the tulips and the daisies in there, look how gorgeous this is with that ornate frame. Carnation does some amazing frames and backgrounds. This is now going to give you the options to bring these dies in. And again, look at that. You've got that pop of colour, especially with the colour of the tulips in there. That would be great for this time of year. If you've got a birthday or something like that, like my mum, it's her birthday New Year's Eve. So you can imagine the 31st. She doesn't want a card that has poinsettias on or anything like that. She wants a proper floral card. And that's what this is all about. Just adding in those extra bits to give you all those layers. Like I say, make sure you do pop over to the website and make sure you check yours out. 251211. And like I say, we are approaching 60% of the stock of this has now nearly gone. So this is your time now before everybody comes in from work and watches this back to make sure that you get yours. And it will go back up to full price as well of $29.99. So while you can do the savings, I would definitely say to you, you need to start now. Okay, so I'm going to start mixing the new elements in with some of the older kits, shall we say. I say older kits, might be earlier this year, this one. So all I'm going to do is just take the panels first of all, and we're going to mat and layer this all together just to show you how beautiful you can make the elements with your cards. Now, this is from one kit called Dreamland Safari, which obviously had the safari elements, but you can see I brought in my little rabbit from this collection, Wild Beauty, that we had earlier. So it just again shows the potential that the Carnation Crafts die sets have and how the team designed them so the sizing will fit with a lot of your other kits as well. So again, you've got that full potential with that. So I'm just going to start layering this together, and then I'm going to add in the envelope from the Crafters Select collection, and we'll start building it from there. So let's just start adding these pieces in. So I'll move quite quickly with this so you can see, because you'll know how to probably put this one together. But if you want to make and sell, you can do that with this one. And I don't mind if you have got this collection, you can copy my cards to a T and you can make and sell. I'm not precious. You are more than happy. If you need that inspiration that one day just to be like, oh, I don't know what to make, watch these back on YouTube. And please do make and share. Okay, do follow us on social media, on Facebook as well. There's a great community on there, and obviously you can leave your comments, but also on there as well there is more inspiration from the design team. But if you do copy any of the design team ones, please give them a thank you and just credit them for that as well, just so that you know. But have a look on the website and on Facebook and things like that, because sometimes we all need that little bit of inspiration. So all I'm doing is just tapping these bits into the glue just to get that little bit of adhesion on there. But you can see how quickly it does come together. I've got this little bridge. I'm not sure which collection this is out of either. Is it Vibrance of Autumn? It might be, because I've got some other bits I think from that kit on there as well. So I've absolutely just mixed and matched any little pretty bit that I thought, oh, the colours go together, and that's what I've done. So hopefully you'll be able to see what I've done and why. So again, just adding in some of these beautiful corner pieces I've got as well, just to dress this. But you know, have a play. Don't ever think, oh, well, that won't go with that. There is so much. But it's Vibrancy of Autumn, this little bridge is from, and I know a lot of you have got that collection. So again, dig it out, have a little look, and then just experiment with that as well. So I'm just adding this in and building this up. I've got my little hare. He's a hare because he's got long ears. So that's how we know he's a hare. Otherwise, I forget who's who sometimes. So I've got my little hare that's going to sit centre stage in this one as well. So we're just going to take him and just pop him just there. I'm then going to start taking one of the envelopes. And we're going to just take this as well. And like I say, I like to stick mine on top. Now, when you get these, they are concertinaed. They have got the score lines in, so it's just peaks and valleys to give you that little concertina bit on the side. These actually make it so it will adhere to your card. You can use it separately or you can use it together. Now, I'm going to just stick mine together to give it a little bit of dimension. I'm just trying to think, actually, let me just peel my rabbit. I might just move my rabbit over slightly because I can. And I might put that at the bottom. Or at the top. Oh, decisions today. Do you ever have that at home where you just think, oh, I'll put that there, and it's in your mind, and then you start crafting and then you think, oh, this has gone down a totally different road now. But we're all the same, so do not worry. You know, it's good to change directions sometimes, and sometimes it, you know, you learn a new way of doing things. So again, actually, I'm going to put it in the top. I'm going to curl the top of the envelope a little bit because I don't want it to look too square on my projects. Okay, so that's going to give it that little bit of a crumpled, creased look, but I like it because it's curved the edge, so it gives it that softness, and I'm just going to push that bit back in. So again, it's giving it a detail. Then I'm going to start bringing in some of the other elements that I've got. So again, we're going to bring this in, and then I'm going to start looking at bringing in some of the flowers that we've got as well. So just adding this in there to start giving it that shape and that drape to my project. And then with this one, we're going to glue the envelope down. And what I'm going to do is then I'm going to do the cascade of these beautiful florals I've got from that down. Okay, so I'm going to fold this bit back so that actually sits off of it, but that's on it and then it comes down. Can you see? So you've got that flow to it. So don't be frightened to crease these. So they will actually, otherwise if you do it like that, it's just going to stand up and stick off. It's not going to look right. So just give it a little crease back on itself like that. It's only a piece of cardstock. It's not going to damage it or anything. And then that will just sit so beautifully. And can you see now how it all frames? It goes together and it's going to give you that beautiful like staging to it. So now the envelope looks part of the kit, which I like. We've got extra bits here, and I'm also going to take some of the little tulips because the colours coordinate with that, and this is from your Crafters Select. So we're just going to add a little bit of glue to these as well and add this into the top of here. But all the colours, as always, this is why I love carnation, everything works so well together. So we're just going to start tucking those in the top like so, and press that down. That will just grab the glue. We've also got some of the foliage bits as well. Even that little piece that I've took out, I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to trim it down and we're going to use this bit as well. So again, adding in my glue, which is bunged up. Honestly, it's lovely and warm in here today, and I think my glue's dried. I left the top off like a dafty, as we do, and it's dried a little bit. I'm going to bring in the alternate colour of the tulip because, again, it matches with the colours that I've got in the kit. So let's do this. But you can cut these down to absolutely any size that you want as well. Just remember that. So you can customise these to suit you. So again, and this needs a little bit of foliage in there, so I'm going to snip a little bit of this off because it is open-ended, so you don't want them to fall down and be too low in the envelope. But you can do whatever you want. Then I'm just going to take a final little tulip, and what I'm going to do with this one, again, I'm going to cut this down. But this one I'm going to actually curve a little bit. And the glue gel on this one then is just going to elevate the centre bit, so then we've got those in there. So hopefully now you can see they all work together and it just adds to it. I've got my extra bits that I'm going to add onto here with my little hair, not bunny. So we can add that in, and you can see then this adds all the different colours into there as well. So just add in those bits just to ground him and make him look like he is all joined together. And I've got little sentiments and everything we can add to it as well. But this is really an easy piece to do. And like with this, I've cut a few of these, but I've cut these into segments so then I can join it all together so it looks like it's cascading down, it's working together and doing that. Now with this I need to join that bit because looking at it we've got too much of a gap. So what I'm going to do is just now have pieces that are draping from there to there, and then we're going to put another piece here. So again, it's creating an archway, it's creating a join, but it's not a purpose join, shall we say. It's just to structure it so visually to the eyes it looks better on your card. And this is where again it's all about dimension, it's about the shape, and it's about learning how to join pieces. So now you can see you've got that perfect arbor effect rather than that just being there and that being there. You've got it all working together. So again, just adding in a few smaller pieces. And with that extra envelope on there with those flowers, that just works so well. And this is what I've been saying all along about the Carnation craft, actually their colorization. They really do keep the colour harmonies quite similar. If they're using an orange, it will be an orange they've used in another kit, or a yellow. And that is why the perfect papers and everything else work so well together, because each and every bit you can pull together. And like, I don't work with the kits all the time, I just sometimes get little bits like this and I think, oh, I'm going to use that, but it works and I don't have to worry. And that's why, like I say, these kits are so well sought after. I'm now just going to add in just a few tiny little greenery bits from the collection, from the Crafter's Choice, because I just need that tiny bit of greenery in here to pull this together. So again, all I'm doing is just tucking these bits in the side, and this will then just give that little bit of detail in there to the collection. So just tucking those in, but then you can see it's just got that little bit of greenery, that little bit of depth, and that works so well. But that envelope at the top corner with the flowers in just gives it a little bit more balance, gives it a perspective and a different feel, and hopefully that's giving you that inspiration, that confidence. Think, do you know what, I'm going to mix and match my pieces too. But it's a great collection for $22.99. This is your Crafters Select that we are bringing you today, and you can see how lovely this is. And this is the posted with Petals collection that really is going to enhance any of the projects that you've got that you want to work with, and also give you a different take on those as well. So don't be frightened to mix and match those for all your different occasions with that. We are approaching 60% of the stock, so 251211 for that one if you want to make sure that you have got that one. Now let's have a little look. I'm going to get something else, a different collection, and again we're going to work it all together to give you that beautiful finish with this one. Now, I think this is one of the autumnal kits as well. I think. I'm trying to think of the name, but I can't. So Bunny is going to have to be my brains for this one. She really is. Now, with this collection, this is how I put it together. I know there is tutorials online, but this is how I do it. So I cut out two exactly the same. I fold these pieces down and do that. But what I do tend to do is just cut the top bit off there, so I haven't got too much bulk. And what I will do is just cut out these pieces on this one. If you want to double layer them, you can, but for me it gives me too much bulk on my cards, so I tend to take these little bits out. Okay, it's up to you. There is tutorials online with this kit, but this is how I've done it. Okay, so we've got all these little pieces, but I've kept them on the other one. So what I'm going to do here is then just add a little bit of glue to that top little flap that you've got there. So just taking a bit of glue on that one, we're going to add this onto here, and I'm going to bring this in. Okay, so now I'm just sticking these two together, making sure that they're level to create a hinge on there as well. So that works really lovely on there. Do you know what I'm going to do on this one? I'm going to totally rewrite it, and I know the team will probably hate me for this. I'm going to put a bit of vellum behind it. So I'm going to cut this out and make it more like a window. kind of design rather than the shelf design. We are doing different today. We are really going at it. I'm going to leave that one in at the bottom because I need something just to stabilize it. So I'm going to leave that one in. Okay. And what I'm going to do then is get some of this fantastic vellum. I'm just going to take a piece of this. I'm just going to cut this down to size. I just thought, oh, that'd look fabulous. So let's bring it in. This is where you can go rogue. You can start bringing in different elements to your different designs. And I just think this works so well. So let me just fold this in. Please use a proper trimmer. I've just gone, oh, I want to use that, which we do at home as well, because we are little bits of devils for doing that. Now, this collection, if you did want it, is called Harvest Echoes, okay? So just have a look online for that. I'm just having a look, see if I've got, no, I'll use my glue. My glue will be fine. Glue will do it. And I'm just going to take these corners off because otherwise you will see the corners. So when you're at home, think about, when you're starting to plan it, then think what else you can do with it. And that is really going to be where your inspiration comes from. And, you know, I'll admit I'm the first one to go rogue and change a design, change something up, because I start seeing different designs as I'm working with it. And like even with these, you could line these on the back of it with vellum. That looks super pretty too. So again, there's lots of things you can do. And I want you to then keep using your kits. So all this inspiration is for you then to take away and think, I'm going to give that a go. So just adding my glue on there. Now, these pieces you will find when you have got yours at home. I've got like an extender bit. I'm going to cut this and make it a bit bigger so you can see at home what I'm doing. You will get your bits and you can just cut them out. These fold in half, okay? So these just fold in half, and these attach to the actual pieces, and they're slightly longer to stop it sliding back through the hole when you do it. So what you need to do once we've folded that over is I'm just going to poke that little bit through, and this I'm going to glue onto there. Okay, so this is then, I'm just going to take a bit of glue. You don't need a lot, so I need to steady down. Just take a little bit of the glue, and what we're going to do is then just glue this onto this piece. Okay, so this then is going to be the like stopper, the extender stopper on there. But if you're not sure, just give that piece an extra squeeze, and that will make sure that that then will fold and crease and support it. Because yes, you could take them all off and you could multi-layer this and make it stronger by adding a few more layers to it. But I don't want to. You know what I'm like. I will do it this way. So then look at that, we've got like a window effect now. Now I'm going to fold that down because obviously one, I want you to see what I'm doing, and two, I need to let this glue dry on that stopper. Okay, so let's build this together. But I do like that vellum, I have to say, I do like that. So again, it's on the show. It's a nice lightweight one. It's not too heavy. So if you're worried that, you know, it could look a little bit heavy or too dense, then you're not going to get that with this. Plus also, think about it, you could actually have a battery operated tea light behind that. That would look great. We're on gas today. We are so on gas today. Change your direction does all of you good. Believe you me sometimes. So now I'm just adding these pieces onto here like so. So we've got that little bit of detail on there, but it then makes it look a little bit more like an armoire. You've got that lovely design on there, like a cabinet or something like that, so we can mix all these pieces in. So I've still got plenty of bits here. What I am going to do then is start, let's get this one. I'm going to use from the Crafters Select, I'm going to use the carrier, like the gift wrap for my flowers. And what we're going to do is I'm going to build these up and show you how to build it up and get your flowers into a beautiful collection. Now, like I say, what I tend to do is I hold them together first and then I put the glue in afterwards. So I will position this and hold it and get the design that I want. So this is the easiest way to do it, because if you start gluing them down, then you think this is not going to work, it's just not right. This will make your life a lot easier. Like I know already that needs to go higher, so I like that bit. I'm just going to glue that onto the back of those. So that's drying and it's sat there already. Then I'm going to take some more foliage. It wants building up at the back again. So again, I'm just going to take that and I'm going to glue that just there. Then you can pull them into place, but these bits are still all loose. So if you get to a point where you think, oh, I'm not done that right, you've still got that movement where you can bend them before you glue them if you want to. I tend to use them like free flow, I will be honest with you. And then I just need that one at the back just to give it a little bit of height. Can you see? Now then with this, I can cut that away. It's not a problem. So now I can look at my flowers and think, right, that's going to sit perfect in there. I can cut any bits off. So what I'm going to do now is just glue these all together. And I'm going to sit this on to there. I'm not worried about these little bits because again, I can turn it over and I can snip those out. They are not a worry on there, but then it just gives it that little bit of detail onto there as well. So then what I'm going to do is leave that to one side to dry while that's drying, and then we can start adding in some of the other bits as well. So I've got like this cartwheel, but it could be a wagon wheel, it could be whatever you want it to be, because we've got lots and lots of beautiful details in this collection. But I like that it's got the greys with it and things like that and all the different tones, and we can really dress this. Got some beautiful things as well. Oh, we've got a message from Mr. Humphreys today, I have. Oh, he says, hi Wheeler and team. Hi Mr. Adam. Can we just say I am with Adam on Sunday as well. So don't forget, I have got to put a thing on social media. I haven't had time yet, Adam, so just bear with me. I've not forgotten about you. He's probably chasing me. You know what they're like, Bunny, he chases me because obviously sometimes he's like, I can't get hold of her, she's not answered me, but I'm either in the car or I'm driving or I'm doing something, so do bear with me. But I hope you're all right, Adam, and I'll see you Sunday. So he does like his crafters, our Adam. He's pretty good actually. He is pretty good, is Adam. So yeah, he's pretty good on the crafting side. So let's add this in. But you can see with Carnation, it's so easy to make your cards. You haven't got to have a worry or a concern because this will just come together really easy. I'm going to stand the flowers at the side as well, so we've got those beautiful tall trailing flowers onto there. Then what I'm going to do is then start building this up with some other elements. So this is like going to look like a tall display that we've got here. I'm going to use the centerpiece that we've got on there, and again with these you can ruffle them as well and give it a little bit of shape, and that's going to give it dimension on there too. Bringing in other elements from the original collection, we can do that. What I like to do sometimes is some of the like ornaments and things like that, I tend to cut into them. I am a bit of a devil, but I like to add bits, shall we say. So taking this off here, I'm going to add this onto, onto the side, and I've got a few extra bits like the frames and everything, but then it's making it look more like then we have got actual, you know, it's like a set in a room rather than just like a cabinet. You're actually looking into it and giving yourself that little bit of detail. So I've got my little barrel here as well. I've got my jug and everything. So let's add these to the front. And just spacing these out to give a little bit of, you know, fullness to the bottom and things like that. And I might actually put my little jug on there, I think. So we've got all these extra pieces from your collections, but you can see with your flowers it all merges together again. I've got my little bowl. Let's add this. But again, it's about joining the imagery as well. So all I'm going to do is just add that onto there. I've got one of the picture frames, and what I'm going to do is just before that's too, now a bit of a trick here for you. If you stick it down and you think, oh, I can't peel it up, it's not going to lift up, all I want you to do is just snip away a bit like that, and then you can put that there, and then you can like fold it behind, so you're not going to see where the bits are where you've joined it. So again, there's always little tricks and bits that you can do, so don't ever think, oh, I've done that wrong, I've stuck it all down, I can't get it off. There's a way and mean to do everything, believe you me. I've got some of the little books. Again, we're going to tuck that in behind there and just glue that down, so that's just going to give that a little bit of detail on there, and add that in. I'm going to take a few bits of the greenery, and again with this one we're just going to tuck some bits in where I've added my glue gel. Can you see I can lift that up and I can just tuck in the little pieces there, and that just gives it that fullness there as well. Then I've got my little corners. I want to add that in there because again it's just adding texture, and then you can hopefully see this comes together really, really simply like that. So just adding that in. I've got a few little bits here, and then we are more or less done with that. So that now will just give you that little bit of luxury and that little bit of detail in there. I've used the flowers in a totally different way. We're going to stand this up. I'm going to pull this forward once I've done it. There you go, because my glue's dry now. And you can see that will stand, but this time we've used the vellum. So the battery operated tea light could actually go behind and that would illuminate it. So it just shows, do not worry, please be confident, be positive with this collection because it's so easy to work with. And this is now going to give you the dimension and the structure to add in as many different bits as you want. 251211 with that one. $22.99, but it will go up to $29.99 when obviously it finishes today. But this is now going to give you the option to then change it with that. Now I have got another little demo for you. This one's a bit more, I would say, Christmassy themed. I'm not going to lie to you, and I just need to there we go, tidy up a little bit because I've got a lot going on here. So this time I've got one of the fantastic crossover shape cards. I'm not sure. Concave card, that's it, a little bit like me, bit concave. So we'll add a little bit of this. Let's just move these bits off so I know what we are working with. But like I say, this is more of a Christmas style of card. Okay, so let's just explain this, take us time, and we're going to mix it together. Okay, so first of all, you've got your main pieces. Like I say, these are Suspended in Beauty, this one's from. Now you will get it will actually die cut it like this, you don't have to worry. The base as well will cut, and it will also cut that little slit in the bottom. Now with this one, if you do it that way, they won't join up properly. You have to do it that way, and then they will join up and you've got that perfect alignment. Then this piece threads into here. You don't glue it, that bit, because that is the bit then that they can open and undo and then obviously lay the card down if they want to, okay? But you've got the beauty of the little stand in here as well that will then prop this up at the back. So then you can, I've got it wrong way around, there we go. And then that will make the card lean back. So you've got it in a box as well. So really easy to put together. It looks complicated, but you know what? It's not. So I will show you. But first of all, before you decorate them, you want to put your panels on, because if you don't, you will have a bit of a job on your hands, believe you me, to try and put your panels on afterwards. So just put those on first if you can. So I've just got to make sure I get them the right way round. No, there we go. So you've got your panels on there. So again, taking my glue, I do this, you don't have to. We have got special applicators, but in Teleland, like I say, we work a little bit quicker. So for me, this gives application. The glue is drying with the heat of my body, so it makes then the glue grab a little bit quicker so I can get the demos. Otherwise, if we're waiting for glue, it's like watching paint dry. I'm just being honest. So I don't like doing that either. So if you're like me, you ain't got to fast forward, you can just watch us. So let's pop this onto here. Love this daisy design. And with these, you could use these on other projects as well. So again, it's down to you how you want to use them and get the best from them. So now we've got those pieces onto there. I can then take this and I can fold this over. I am going to actually glue mine because I know my card is just going to stay like that, and I'd probably make a box for mine. So all I do is just line that up, press that down, and that's going to fold into there. We're then going to slot this back into the slot, and this is all printed. All this obviously design and everything with the grey tones is your vignettes. So these are all obviously, you can print them and you can download them. I'm just going to fold that bit back because what I want to do is show you one side of this. One side is straight, one side's got a curvature. The curvature bit, let me just pop this onto here. The curvature bit is going to sit just here. So again, I'm just going to take this, I'm going to take some of my glue, take a little bit off. And what I'm going to do is align this just here in that semicircle there. Give it a second or two to hold. They have got the score lines in, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, as a little trick, this is just something, we're putting these cards together that I've learnt, okay? Now, with this, you fasten this at the top of the card, okay? And that supports it, like that. Now with that, I'll be honest with you, I just put my, either your pokey tool or your finger or whatever, and all I do on that top little bit is just put a crease, okay? So it's like a pinch crease at the top, can you see? That's all I do, because then with this being concave, I find personally that sits then better when you glue it. Okay, because if it's flat, you're trying to put a flat on a curved surface, and it does sometimes jump off. Even when you're using red liner tape, it doesn't sit as smooth. So if you just pinch that top bit, then when you come to join this bit, it actually joins and sits better. Otherwise it does tend to flip off a little bit. But then you can see that supports your card. It's a little bit, oh hang on, like a sail. It looks like a sail shape. So you can see there that the curve there supports that and holds it. But then when you want the card to lay down, all you do is take that bit out, that folds down, and then you've got your card. So that's why you don't glue this bottom bit, okay? So you can see there, that now is perfect. I'm going to take it out while I decorate it, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit awkward for you to see, and then we'll put it together as we go on, okay? So I've used lots of different bits from lots of different Christmas collections, because I just wanted to show you again, mix it, match it, make it work for you. So I'm going to take one of the envelopes to start with. I'm going to do the one where we concertina it and we stick it to the front again, because I need somewhere to put my little rabbit in. He's not a mouse, he's a rabbit, okay? Because he's going to sit in there like he's popping out the envelope. So we're going to do that. Yes, it was pointed out to me, he's not a mouse. He does look a little bit, that's where I got it confused, but he's not, he's a rabbit. So yeah, so just Christmas rabbit, so just bear in mind. He's got his little Christmas cracker party hat on, which I like, and I just thought he is too cute to not have him on there as well. So we are going to make our envelope, because then this can dry. If you fold it and concertina it all back, then when you position it on, you'll get the perfect line up, because all you do is put it on flat. Okay, just hold it down. If you're never sure and you think, oh, just put your glue on it. Just put your glue on it. Your glue will weight it down, and you can just leave it. Sometimes I've even used my plates off my die cutting machine, whatever you want. Okay, so like now that is then glued and ready, so I can pop that to one side. Let's start sticking all these bits together. That would be my final piece to put on, but I've got all of these extra bits as well. So first of all, we're going to start with this. Now I'm a devil for, as you know, creasing it, folding it a little bit, adding that little bit of detail to it, but I like that. Let's do a little bit of the glue gel. And I'm going to pop this on to here and start to build it up. But because it's concave, it really is going to give it that nice shape. So you want that little bit of fullness to it. Then I've got this beautiful, oh, I don't know which one this was from. I'm trying to think, was it the white Christmas cracker one, or was it a wreath, a gold wreath? Might have been a gold wreath that had all the bows, and I don't know, I can't remember. So I'm just going to slot that in behind, so you can see the fretwork, because it's a different colour from the white, it doesn't, you know, detract from it. We're just building with it. Then I've got some of the other elements to go with it. You also get this piece as well. Now, just to show you what this piece is, yes, you can use it. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. It's got the two little slots at the bottom, and then this bit folds round, and you can use... Sorry about that, they're making people jump outside, and if you can hear them screaming, it's fine, nobody's hurt. Bunny's fine, she's in there, but she's fine. Well, somebody's proper squealed, so I think they've made somebody jump in there. So this bit then will fasten on the top of your card. But not just that, you also get this bit that looks like a crazy little golf club. Can you see? This will poke through. That anchors itself there, so then you can hang a sentiment on it. It could be whatever you want, but that is a piece that comes in the kit. Just to explain to you, in case you're thinking, well, how do I do this, how do I do that? It's all there for you, so you have got it all. The Suspended in Beauty collection, that is. So I'm just going to move this up, because obviously I'm looking then where I want to put my little envelope in as well. So this is going to sit more at the back now, in the concave bit where it's more a little bit sunken. So I just might need to just move my metal embellishment up. But with this one, I'm just going to metal embellishment. It looks like metal. It looks like gold. It looks like gold, that's why. So I'm just going to pop that in and just squeeze that down so that hopefully it will start to adhere there. But then again, we're dressing it, we're tucking bits in. I've got my fabulous bow that is going to sit at the top because it just needs that grandeur at the top. We can do that. That's going to sit there. I've also got other bits here. Little bow that is again going to sit in the middle of that bow, because I want that little bit of formation there. Then I've got my holly sprigs, and this is now where we can then start to add bits into here to fill this out. I'm also going to use some of the greenery from the Crafters Select, because again, look at the colour choice. This, I cannot stress enough how much bits from one kit will work with the others. As we keep telling you throughout this, you know, these 2 hours I've been with you today, there is so much potential to add in so many different bits from all the different kits, and that really does give you that element of beauty, design, and also it just lets your creativity really run. So I'm just packing that in with lots of different bits there. I've got some of these pine cones. We're going to add these in as well. So again, I'm actually going to take these, I'm going to glue these from the back so these can sit here just in the background behind there. But you'll notice with the envelope, the bit's open at the top, but the bit at the bottom is a little bit flatter, so it's more to that angle, shall we say. So the bottom bit's flat, but the bit's open, so then I can still get my little rabbit in there. I had to think what he was then. Rabbit. So we're just going to tuck him in there, so he's just sat in there all cutie, and that's what I like. So let's take these bits off, snip these in. I've got my other little pine cone. Again with this, do what I said earlier about I've made that like a zigzag shape, because what I'm going to do is tuck it in behind, but then it's going to be over the top of the envelope, so it's not lost, but otherwise it will stick out at the wrong angle. Whereas now you've got that dimension and shape with that. So again, it's playing about with different designs sometimes and just being like, do you know what? I'm going to try it's a piece of paper, fold it, bend it, but make it work for you. I'm going to tuck in some little pine cones behind there, so that then dresses all the card that way. And then I've got some final little bits that I'm just going to squeeze together, and we are just then going to add this in the bottom, again giving a different texture, because the bottom corner piece is a one solid piece, so just by adding those in gives it that fullness too. Then what I'm going to do is take my base piece, we're going to pop this in there, slot that in, and I'm just going to add the final piece that hopefully you can see from above, and then this just sits onto there. But you could use it as a sentiment piece, you could use it as, you know, decoration, whatever you want to. But I just think that then just matted and layered onto there, echoing the base, then will just really give it a great stopper finish to that. So then as I turn this round and you can see this again, who'd have thought you could add that envelope in to these sorts of cards, but you so can. The sizes are incredible because they've been specially engineered, because these are hand drawn. They're not just envelopes that they take and they go, all right, we'll resize them. They're all hand drawn. That's why the characters can sit in them. That's why on these sort of cards the balance is right. But you can see with the shape of the card, you've just got something a little bit different, and that's all we want at the end of the day, is to give you that designer little look on there. So let's have a little look. Let's show you some other examples that the fabulous design team have done as always. But look at that. If you just want your florals, you've got instant toppers here, envelope, all the flowers from the collection, you've got those. But if you just want to keep it minimalist, you can do that as well. So you've got that minimalist look if you want to bring it in that way. And again, just use the flowers. You have got that potential with these to really, really, you know, make and sell, but also give back. So if somebody said to you, oh, she loves flowers, make a card with flowers on, but you don't know what colours, this can engineer and work in so many different ways. If you've got different frames as well, you can see that works. But let me show you some of the things that I made earlier, because what I want to show you is, yes, that's just using the flowers and some of the bits, but absolutely different collections. It's like spot where the envelope is. It's about using different styles that you wouldn't normally add in, but you can see once they're tucked in, once they're worked in, this is now going to give you that creativity to pull these all together and just add that extra bit of detail on there, what we all really like. So that is lovely. So I'm just going to pop my other card back so you can see again, Christmas card, we added it in. You could have Dear Santa on that or something like that. You know, I've been good this year. That's what I keep telling him. But, you know, hopefully he's got my letter and he's realised that I have been good this year, maybe. But that's what it's all about with this. But remember, this is your crafter's selection, your crafter's choice. And this is posted with Petals. It's such a beautiful kit. And I always like kits like this because it'll stretch you. It will make you think what you can use it with. It's like having a little black dress that then you can change up the accessories of this to really give you that powerful new look to all your cards. Now, we will be back on Monday, so do not worry. I've got Clean and Simple, which this definitely would work with. And if I can, I might sneak some little bits in. We will be back at 11 and 1 on Monday, so hopefully you will join me. Laura will be back soon as well, so you'll be able to see lovely Laura. But hopefully you all have a fabulous day. You've all got yours and you've secured it already. And I will see you soon. Take care, everybody. Thank you to everybody today. See you soon.